In the contested Indo-Pacific, geography is destiny, and Subic Bay, Philippines, is at its heart. Its deep-water harbor faces the South China Sea, a vital artery for global trade, and a flashpoint for regional tensions. Subic Bay's proximity to disputed areas like Scarborough Shoal and the Spratlys makes it a strategic asset for surveillance, patrols, and rapid response. For the US and its allies, a presence here means faster deployment and logistical support than from distant bases. The bay's facilities can host the largest naval vessels, multiplying operational reach. As US-China competition intensifies, Subic Bay is again a critical piece in the Indo-Pacific chessboard. For the Philippines, it's a pragmatic re-engagement with its treaty ally. For the US, it's key to maintaining a free and open region. Subic Bay's story is one of enduring strategic value, where history, geography, and power converge. Its significance today is a direct response to the evolving security landscape of the 21st century. Subic Bay's modern role was forged in the 20th century, when the US transformed it into a major overseas base. During World War II, its capture and recapture underscored its strategic value in Southeast Asia. The Cold War elevated Subic Bay to the logistical heart of US power in the Western Pacific, supporting the 7th Fleet and the Vietnam War effort. At its peak, it employed over 40,000 Filipinos, shaping the local economy and culture. The base symbolized the US-Philippines alliance. Under the 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty, Subic Bay was more than a base. It was a linchpin of regional security and a projection of American power. Its operations stretched from the Indian Ocean to the Sea of Japan. For nearly a century, the American flag over Subic Bay represented a deep, complex partnership. But this era would soon face its greatest test, not from an enemy, but from nature and national will. The stage was set for a dramatic transformation. The late 1980s and early 1990s brought sweeping change to the Philippines and the world. As the Cold War ended, Filipino nationalism surged, and the presence of US bases became a divisive issue. The restoration of democracy in 1986 empowered a Senate determined to assert sovereignty. Negotiations for a new bases treaty were fraught, with security and economic arguments clashing against calls for independence. Then, in 1991, Mount Pinatubo erupted, devastating Clark Air Base and forcing a US withdrawal. Subic Bay, less damaged, underwent a massive cleanup, but its fate hinged on the Senate's decision. Despite US offers and cleanup efforts, the tide of nationalism prevailed. On September 16, 1991, the Philippine Senate rejected the new treaty. By November 1992, the last US sailors departed, ending an era. Subic Bay began its transformation into a commercial free port. The US-Philippines alliance entered a new, uncertain phase. The legacy of Subic Bay would soon take on a new form. Mount Pinatubo's 1991 eruption was catastrophic, blanketing the region in ash and crippling US bases. Clark Air Base was abandoned. Subic Bay faced a monumental cleanup. Operation Fiery Vigil saw thousands work tirelessly to restore the naval base. As disaster struck, political drama unfolded in Manila. Should the US stay or go? The eruption intensified debates over sovereignty and alliance. Ultimately, the Senate's rejection of the treaty marked a declaration of independence. The US departure in 1992 was somber, but it sparked a remarkable local response. Led by Olongapo's mayor, volunteers protected the base from decay and looting. This civic action laid the foundation for the Subic Bay Freeport Zone. Subic's transformation from military bastion to commercial hub began with resilience and local initiative. The region's rebirth was a testament to Filipino resolve. Subic Bay's story was far from over. For nearly 2 decades, Subic Bay thrived as a commercial hub, but regional dynamics shifted. China's assertiveness in the South China Sea reignited security concerns in Manila and Washington. The Philippines, facing pressure at sea, saw renewed value in its US alliance. The US pivoted back to Asia, seeking to balance China's rise. Joint military exercises like Balikatan returned, with Subic as a key staging ground. The new approach was rotational, not permanent, respecting Philippine sovereignty while enabling US presence. Legal frameworks like the Visiting Forces Agreement and Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, EDCA, formalized this cooperation. Subic Bay, though not an official EDCA site, became a vital logistical hub for U.S. activities. The alliance adapted to new realities, blending flexibility with shared strategic interests. Subic's commercial port and airfield supported both economic growth and defense needs. The U.S.-Philippines partnership entered a new era, one of collaboration, not occupation. Subic Bay's dual role was now central to regional security. The stage was set for deeper cooperation. EDCA, signed in 2014, is the backbone of modern U.S.-Philippine defense ties. Unlike old basing agreements, EDCA allows U.S. forces to rotate through Philippine bases, build facilities and preposition equipment without permanent bases. The agreement emphasizes Philippine sovereignty and mutual benefit. Initially, 5 sites were chosen. In 2023, 4 more were added, including locations near Taiwan and the South China Sea. This expansion boosts joint response capabilities for regional contingencies. Subic Bay, while not an official EDCA site, is the logistical gateway for EDCA activities, supporting construction, supply, and naval operations. Its commercial infrastructure, a legacy of its military past, is now a strategic asset. U.S. investments have upgraded Philippine facilities, aiding military modernization at no direct taxpayer cost. EDCA, with Subic at its core, creates a flexible, resilient defense posture for the 21st century. The partnership is built for today's challenges. Subic Bay's renewed strategic role brings economic benefits to the region. The Freeport Zone, once a military base, is now a thriving commercial and industrial hub. U.S. Navy visits inject millions into the local economy, supporting jobs and businesses. The dual-use model, commercial and military, spurs investment in port infrastructure. Firms like Cerberus Capital see opportunity in servicing both commercial and allied naval vessels. Balancing military logistics with commercial activity is a challenge, but local leaders are optimistic. Defense cooperation is seen as complementary, enhancing security and economic growth. Nationally, a stable South China Sea is vital for Philippine prosperity. The U.S. partnership helps protect sea lanes, fishing grounds, and energy resources. Subic Bay's revival is as much about economic security as military readiness. The U.S.-Philippine alliance, anchored at Subic Bay, has drawn sharp reactions, especially from China. Beijing condemns the expanded U.S. presence, calling it destabilizing and a relic of Cold War thinking. China has increased maritime pressure on the Philippines, hoping to sway Manila's policy. This cycle of action and reaction has heightened tensions in the South China Sea. ASEAN nations' responses are mixed. Vietnam quietly supports a stronger U.S. presence, while others worry about being caught between rivals. Many Southeast Asian states prefer dialogue and regional solutions, wary of jeopardizing economic ties with China. The renewed U.S. presence challenges ASEAN unity, exposing differing strategic priorities. Subic Bay's revival is a test of regional diplomacy and balance. The Philippines must navigate between great powers while safeguarding its interests. The Indo-Pacific's future may hinge on how these tensions are managed. In 2026, Subic Bay stands as a symbol of adaptation. Once a military giant, now a dual-use hub at the center of U.S.-Philippine strategy. The new model is flexible and collaborative, rooted in shared interests and legal frameworks like EDCA. Subic Bay enhances Philippine defense and supports regional stability in an era of great power rivalry. For the U.S., it's a vital node for projecting presence and responding to crises. Economic benefits are real, but so are the challenges. Tensions with China and complex ASEAN diplomacy. Success depends on balancing security, growth, and consensus at home and abroad. Subic Bay's story mirrors the Indo-Pacific's quest to balance sovereignty, security, and prosperity. Careful diplomacy and investment will shape its future. The next chapter is being written now.